I will die on that hill.
I absolutely love Miley Cyrus.
You have failed this.
Love this show.
The sickest snipe ever. Is this? What are we doing?
No. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Call Guys podcast. I'm Gunner, also known as Chico Noise, 3-time podcast host. Once again, a resident of Williamsport, Pennsylvania, and everyone out there. I am inspired by last week's episode with a quart of books and booze. I want book recommendations. I'm going to read a book.
Like this month, because that's a big thing on Facebook right now. People are like, send me a book a month to read, and I'll read it.
I just want book recommendations, and whatever I get the most of, I'll read it.
Okay. All right, folks, you heard it. Where should they send those emails?
The Call Guys podcast at gmail.com.
It's a great place to start.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna read a book. Colton, read a book with me. Or don't.
What book you want to read?
I don't know.
I've got like two. I've got like three. I've got 3 books on my shelf that I want to read, but I don't have the motivation to read them.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll see what the listeners send, and we'll read a book.
Okay,
or I'll read a book. You don't have to.
If we get 10 emails saying to give us book recommendations, and if there's a tie, we will choose between those, and we will read that book together.
One book, not a series, just a book.
Well, if it's a series that's in a book, if it's a book that's within a series, that might be tough to only read it once, unless it's like The Hunger Games or something I've read.
Okay.
But if it's something I haven't read and it hooks me, that first book hooks me, then I'm going to be like, dude, we got to read this other one.
Okay, if you send a series, make sure you send book 1.
There
Don't
we go.
send, like,
Good
book
stipulation.
3 in like a 10-book series.
Yeah.
Send
Don't
book
just
1.
say read Goblet of Fire.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Everybody alongside me, as always, my good friend Colton Keel, or as I like to call him, Owan Keel 43. Colton,
Go.
throwing up them threes.
That's all I do, man. Don't shoot them shots. Can't
Shoot them
go in if you
shots.
don't shoot them.
That's right. How's it going?
Dude. I totally miss you.
Dude,
I really miss you.
Jack Black,
I know. Don't sue us. Or copyright us. Love you, Jack Black. Okay.
Of course.
It's been a week. We kind of got called out by longtime emailer Adrian about it. Arian, God, see, this is it, man. This is it. I'm so sorry, Arian. But I have the week I have had, as I could take all day off tomorrow and sleep all day, and I still don't think I'd have enough sleep. I have been sleep deprived all week. I am exhausted. Sell a house, they said. It'll be fun. It'll be nice. Sell a house. Sell your house. It's good for you. You had a good experience, I'm sure.
I did.
Right? Okay. Well, that's good.
Yes.
I'm glad you had a good experience, because I have never been more tested within a short amount of time in my entire life than I have these 4 days this week. I don't know what I can and can't say. I'm really close to getting into the new house. Maybe eventually I'll be able to talk about it, but I guess for now I probably shouldn't, just for future potential reasons, potentially, if that makes sense.
Yeah, here in a couple of weeks, we'll just let Colton lay it all out.
Yeah, definitely when I get the new house, hopefully.
We'll go start to finish, first day to today.
Yeah, it's a doozy. It's a doozy of a story, and I'm telling you, man, I think I've been like averaging like 1 a.m. I just can't sleep. I just every time my eyes close, they pop open, and it's rough. Arian, I am so sorry for getting your name wrong. Please forgive me. Please email us at thecallguyspodcast@gmail.com. We miss
Call
you.
Colton out, yell at him.
That's fine. That's fine. I
He'll
can
lose
take
some more
that.
sleep.
Yeah. What's another hour?
What's another
So
hour?
I feel like I've been on fumes since like Tuesday afternoon. So
Yeah, the call, the Wednesday call with Colton wasn't anything near a pre-production meeting. It was all just listen, understand,
it's the reason why
console.
Gunner it's a reason why Gunner's a really good. It's one of the really good traits of Gunner. He's an awesome soundboard.
It
He's
bounced right
just
off me.
No, I mean it's a good friend. So I really appreciate our us sacrificing our pre-production meeting. Hopefully it doesn't hurt the content that we produce every week, because I really don't know if the pre-production meeting or the pre-production meeting helps or hurts us
No,
for the
I don't think
week.
so. I don't think so at all.
So, this has definitely been a rough week. So, yeah, Gunner, how's your week, brother?
You know, I always like to counter your bad weeks with a good week. And like I
Yes.
said, in the intro, I am in Pennsylvania. Made another trip out here. This is, I think, my 8th trip out to Pennsylvania. Um, Came out to train for a new department that's set up. I think we talked about that in the past episode. And man, it's just been fruitful. There's been a lot going on, a lot of people willing to work hard, get stuff done. I've left every day feeling like I've accomplished something. So they all kind of just worked their butts off. Everybody that came with me this week has really pushed to teach and get everything done right. And it's exciting to see all that actually come to fruition after, you know, going through and trying to get everything there for them. And so yeah, it's been fun. It's been good. Everybody out there that's working hard, if you still listen to the podcast, thank you. Thank you for working hard and getting everything done and working your butts off, and y'all made the trip worth it. So, and now
That's awesome.
in the morning I got to drive 9 hours back home. So I'm super excited for that. You know how that goes. But no, it's
Yeah.
been a good week. There's another reason why this was a good week. Last week was a good week. This comes out on Monday. If you got a chance to listen to the Indiana Chiefs fans podcast on Thursday, we had an awesome special guest. Chiefs super
Yes.
fan, almost Andy Reid. You've seen him on TV. He's huge on TikTok. He is such a funny guy and such a laid back, cool individual as a whole. And we had him on there. Dad met him at a I don't know if it was like the NBC recording before the
Broadcast.
game or what. Yeah. They were down there and he was there. So Dad went up and talked to him. Well, he got his business card and made it all work out. Come to find out, this guy's got almost 500,000 followers on TikTok. He's huge. He's a famous opera singer. He's skincare expert. So go listen to the episode if you want to hear a really good interview with a really fun person. And you all know me on Indiana Chiefs fans. I don't talk a whole lot because the chief and the emperor have a lot to say. So I just kind of lay back, do the socials, call it good. And no, they just did a really good job interviewing him, talking to him. He's a funny guy. So listen,
I
it's
really,
really good.
I really enjoyed it. Really made my day. Like it made me laugh, made me feel good about my terrible week. Just listen to you guys talk and listen to him. He seems like a pretty cool dude. So I really
Oh,
hope
yeah.
you guys get him back and continue that relationship, and maybe something good comes out of it. Who knows? But
Man,
it was a
he's all
really
over the
I
place.
thought it was really good. I thought it was really good.
Yeah, he's all over the place. He comes to Indiana. He goes. I mean, he travels the United States for his full time job. So yeah, go listen, check it out. Go follow him on TikTok, Twitter, um, Facebook, Instagram, whatever he's on. He is verified on most of those. So I mean, he's a big deal.
He is
Just
exactly the person you're thinking of when you watch a Chiefs game and they say,
yeah.
"Oh, Andy Reid's in the stands." It's that
Yep,
guy.
that's that guy. That he is that guy. Um oh man, I had something else that was really good this week and I just completely skipped my mind. So I'm gonna move.
Uh,
Here it is. A Quarter Books and Booze was on the Call Guys podcast
oh,
last week. Their
yes,
first
sir.
episode came out Friday. So go check it out. Listen, let us know what you think. I'm excited. It's just they're just gonna do good things, I think, and so I think it'll be an interesting podcast to listen to. So yeah, if you haven't listened to last week's episode, go check that out too because it was a fun episode to record. Man, I've had fun episodes, so let's make this one a laid back, chill episode, Colton.
Dude, I am down for that.
He's down for it. Actually, I think I might have spoke too soon because we're gonna do emails.
Yeah, we did speak too soon. So let's hop on to the the the
Yeah,
fun train we got going on here. So we do have some emails this week. So thank you for reaching out to us at thecallguyspodcast@gmail.com. So just really appreciate you guys taking the time out of your busy days and schedules to spend some time to talk some shenanigans with us. So here we go. We have a long time co-host, emailer, podcaster with us, friend of the show, Chris.
CT
CT
1209.
1209. Guys, I typed a long email weeks ago during your Disney episode and never sent it because I was going to say
Thanks,
we
Chris.
never got it. So I'm going to jump into the books and movies since I was almost a guest. Close. Amanda's voice is perfect for broadcast. This should be known and acknowledged. Dang, I agree. I thought she has a very good pod. I
She
feel like,
does.
according to Books and Booze, they all have a very good podcasting voice.
They all have a very
So,
good book podcast voice. Like all that. Like Skylar's got a very like laid back low voice. Jess has a very good voice. Amanda has a very good voice. So yeah, not wrong, Chris. You're right.
yes. Fun Harry Potter segment. As someone who is married to and friends with numerous Potterheads, the shared sentiments were fun. I myself, while having watched the films, cannot bring myself to get through the books, regardless of the fandom. They may not be for me, and sometimes that's half the battle about books. Gunner, that's a good note right there to take.
Thanks, Chris.
Jot
Thanks
that
for
down.
no
And
need
this
to
is
for
when
hearing an
Chris,
email.
and this is when Chris goes downhill. I think Colton hasn't planted his flag on a hill, but on a dead horse. It is beaten. If you if you never mention DC again, my ears will thank you. Well, Chris, I don't know. It's just I just laugh. I read this and I just laughed. I got nothing. I'm too tired.
I was just waiting for a DC sucks.
Everybody knows. DC sucks. For my book to movie adaptation list, I don't look at accuracy. I simply because the feel of a book can often translate better on screen, but accuracy is always a boost for fans and in Call Guys traditional fashion. Number 3, Dune, 2021. Great book with an interesting universe translated onto screen. The as only Dennis, oh
Villeneuve.
god, Dunhee.
Villeneuve.
Yeah. Villain. See, there's a basketball player with the last name of Villanueva, and that's what I thought of when I saw that. I was like, I don't think that's it. But
Dunny.
Dunhee
Villeneuve.
Villeneuve.
Thanks for the
Yeah,
translation.
Chris, you might have to come on and say that word, and just record him at work. Just that phrase.
Yeah. I'll just plug it
That'd be
in.
funny. Very excited for part 2. Number 2, he has Blade Runner, based on Philip K. Dick's "Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep?" in the real birth of the cyberpunk aesthetic we all know today. Great Harrison Ford role and excellent sequel no one expected. I've seen the original. I haven't seen the I mean, call it a sequel. I still think of it as a remake, even though I don't think it is. But I like the first one a lot. Really, really far out there. I like that. It's
Yeah.
a very good movie for its time. Honorable mentions, we have Of Mice and Men, Bald Like a Baby at Laney's death in the book, The Princess Bride, Jurassic Park, I, Robot, The Big Sleep is a 1946 black and white, The
Nice.
Big Sleep. I feel like I've heard of it, but I
Yeah.
don't think I've watched it. But I thought there was. I remember hearing that iRobot was based off of a book.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so and number one is Lord of the Rings. Love the books. The way you Potter fans talk about that series. Read it a few times, and the movies are truly a landmark achievement in cinema. Also, the biggest change from books is the depiction of Aragon, as he is a confident man who takes his role as king seriously, not someone who doubts himself and is reluctant in his calling. I am not a fan of the Hobbit films. Interesting. I wish you would have elaborated a little bit on that. Um, bonus, and this is, I mean, I'm surprised we didn't think of this. The absolute
I know.
worst book to film adaptation. We should have just threw in one or something.
Then they will work.
I have ever been unfortunate enough to have seen is this movie Aragon. Well, they had nailed Brom and Sapphire. It
Saphira.
was, yeah, sure. It was painfully clear that they have never even read the books, as changes made it impossible to ever follow up with the events of Eldest. So bad. So bad. Decent series, though. Look forward to having you guys as my guest one day. Be well. CT1209.
Yeah, let me hit on that
Like,
actually real
yeah,
quick
what's that
because he says
about? Because I was hoping
looking.
you would say something.
So
What do you
Chris
got?
and our I would call him head of IT at work and another buddy are starting a comic book podcast.
Oh no.
Yeah, so they started up, they recorded their first episode. And he's pretty excited, so he would like to have us on there at some point, and of course, we would love to come on at some point. We
Chris,
don't read many
we
comic books,
could.
but
I have a hunch. I know where we'd go. We would probably just, stick around. I don't know. What's a good comic book? I don't know. Doctor Strange, Amazing Spider-Man.
oh, we already
Probably
talked about
stick
me
around
doing a
those
Daredevil
maybe.
episode with him, so
Hulk. Oh yeah, you'd be good for that one.
yeah. So I'm
You'd be
excited for
real
him.
good for that one.
I wish him the best.
Yeah, no, definitely. When he gets that up and running, we got to get them. We'll get them on, or we'll go on there. We'll figure it out. But yeah, that'd probably be a good one to listen to.
Faux show.
Next email that we have is starts out with Chico and Vanilla Thunder.
Mhm.
I have one thing to say. Vanilla Thunder. You wrong. Uncut Gems is probably the worst Adam Sandler movie ever made. Okay, so first things first. Takes place during the Boston Celtics heyday, in my lifetime. So I have a soft spot for the time era of it.
Mhm.
And I don't know, have you seen Hubie Halloween? Because that movie is rough. If you haven't, definitely watch that movie. It cannot be better than Uncut Gems. It's not. It can't. After watching it, I felt like I lost 2 hours of my life that I can't get back. I can recall some movies, that I have felt that way.
Oh yeah.
Mostly,
yeah.
mostly like Aquaman. So, um, you need to watch Hustle. It's a good movie, heartwarming. That's what I've been told. I think I'm gonna watch it. I think I'm gonna watch it in the new house though,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I'm worried I'll forget. So as long as these emails keep coming in for me to watch this movie, I'll probably remember to watch it. A Call Guys avid listener, Coach Rob. Coach from the Indiana Chiefs fan. So Coach, shout out to you. Thanks for emailing. Thanks for taking the time. Really appreciate it. Yeah, I love the interaction, So I love Uncut Gems, man. It was a different Sandler role. I think that's why I liked it so much.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying, don't get me wrong. Obviously, I wasn't in my top 3, but
Exactly.
um,
Exactly.
so yeah, man. So that's all I got, man. You got anything, Gunner?
I do.
Do we got any other emails?
Um,
What do we got?
So this is a email about our Christmas episode.
Lovely,
And
lovely,
let me
lovely.
just say that Logan ripped us. Ripped us
You
on
know,
TUSAP last week.
you know
He ripped
that
us
that
on.
man, he tries very hard,
Yeah.
and I appreciate that about him.
He's got a very big heart for the things that he loves.
Big heart,
And
big
that's
heart.
perfect. That's perfectly fine.
Perfectly fine. I agree.
The Call Guys is a 100% opinion podcast. We talk
100%
about what
factual
we think.
podcast.
100% factual
We speak
opinions.
facts all the time.
So our Christmas episode, we talked about the Die Hard question. We talked about movies
Always.
and stuff
It's a great question.
that why or why is it not a Christmas movie? Logan was supposed to be on that episode. He was busy. Understandable, completely.
Understandable.
Rips us on his podcast, which is fine. That's what we do. We go back and forth. That's what we do. Okay.
Back and forth.
Well, we get an email, Kyle Motz. You're out there
Motz.
listening to the Call Guys podcast. That says it was recommended that I send you
It said it was recommended.
Oh, the song.
Yeah,
okay,
it.
so he sends us
song-
the
the
Never song
song.
from Whitest Kids You Know, which I haven't actually watched it, so I don't
it's
think I've ever heard it.
hysterical. It's hysterical.
I'll watch it. I'll watch it after the pod tonight. So he sent us the song. Said I was recommended that I send that to you. Also, The Nightmare Before Christmas is totally a Christmas movie, as its plot is centered around Christmas. Same with Die Hard, my dude.
My
Well,
dude,
Kyle.
Kyle. First off, let's start. Let's say this. Thank you
Okay.
for emailing us. I
Of
appreciate
course,
you.
of course.
Thank you for taking the time out of your schedule to send a really funny video, because I laughed because that song is so it's so stupid and it makes me laugh. It makes me remember the early days of YouTube, and the Whitest
Oh
Kid
yeah,
You
Whitest
Know
Kid You Know.
was
Oh yeah.
they are, good lord. Like all right, that's what I have to say to a potential lifelong listener.
I would love
So-
her. Yeah, listen as much as you can, Kyle. We love having the email. We love that you did. I don't know if you've actually listened to our episodes, but thanks for emailing us.
Yes.
So let me just say, to preface what I'm about to say, is that I've seen Nightmare Before Christmas maybe twice in my life. And I don't ever
Really?
go out of my way to watch it. I don't care if it's a Christmas movie or not. It just was in our list to discuss, and we did. We discussed it. We said
Ooh.
we
Ooh.
don't think it's a Christmas movie because it's Halloween Town is where Jack is from. That's what he does, right? That's fine. Well, so it kind of ate away at me for a little bit. I didn't watch it because I don't care. I'm not going to go back and rewatch it.
Ooh.
But I found an article.
Ooh,
and
you
I took a
read.
screenshot of some of the
Ooh.
stuff here.
Tell me more.
And
Tell me more.
I'm just going to read the highlighted portion here.
Like,
In
does
a
he have car?
2019 interview with USA Today, composer Danny Elfman, who is one of Colton's favorite composers, correct?
Yeah.
Sided with Team Halloween, saying it's obviously about Christmas, but for me, it's a Halloween movie. And when director Henry Selick was asked this question during a Q&A at the 2015 Colorado Telluride Horror Show Film Festival, he answered with just 4 words: "It's a Halloween movie." So,
Bruce Willis said Die Hard is not a Christmas movie.
yeah. I mean, I'm not siding with anybody. I don't care. My opinion is that it's not. Your opinion that it is. We go from there. We're good to go.
See,
Love you
this
guys.
is the problem. This is the problem, Gunner. You want resolution. You want no conflict. Me, I don't. I want the smoke. All of it.
Oh, bring it all. Blow up our email.
Tell him
Or
he's
yell
wrong
at us on
for
your
having.
podcast.
Tell him he's wrong for having an opinion. Tell him you're not allowed to have a different
Definitely not
opinion than me.
I'll take all opinions any time of the day. But
No,
I did
love
laugh.
it. I'm telling you, that video made me laugh.
I will go
hysterical.
watch.
You'll
I will
laugh.
go watch the video because I'm now kind of excited.
I haven't seen that one in a while, and I remember when it gets like to the last hook. Like, I remember what it was, and I was like, oh my! I was like, they got little kids singing this song.
Oh man, now I'm gonna go watch it.
Yeah,
But no, yeah. Kyle, thanks for emailing. Logan, thanks for the shout out on Team Tejas's top
Nobody
episode last week.
does a shout out. Nobody does a plug. like Logan does for the Call Guys, because let me tell you, it's hysterical.
Yeah, I have to come up with
And
something crazy.
we gotta get them or him back on. That's just a fun conversation.
Conversation. Yeah,
We just gotta find more stuff to get him on for.
yeah, I agree.
Matt and
I agree.
Bose, I don't know if they know how to function without him. So I don't know. They might be tagging along. So I don't know.
Well,
Cut the cord, Logan.
We've attempted what 3 episodes with Team House
Yeah,
at this
but
point.
but the thing about it is that I don't want to say, like, when you say it like that, you make it sound like you're giving him all the heat, and I'm like, yeah, we haven't been the greatest either, brother.
Oh, I know. We've talked about it.
The
We're like, we
communication on
literally
all three sides has been crap.
6 months ago we had a phone call, me, Colton, and Logan, and we discussed what we wanted to do for these episodes. We want to create these cool intros. So Colton and I went and recorded. They recorded some stuff. I actually cut it all together. It sounded really awesome. Never did the episode.
Oh, I'd love to hear that.
I didn't send it to you.
Maybe. No.
Okay, I'll send it to you.
You don't love me.
Okay, I'll send it to you this evening, or maybe when I get
That's
home.
exciting. Okay, don't worry about it. I'll hear it eventually, I'm sure.
But yeah, exciting stuff. I'm excited. I want them all 3 on. To be honest, I think it'd be a fun episode. We do want to do a dual crossover where we cross over to them, they cross over to us, and it'll happen. It'll happen one of these days. But
yeah, I agree. I think
I
it'd be
digress from my heated moment.
Wow, how did you survive?
I would have been yelling louder, but I'm in a hotel room, so I don't want to like echo through the walls. Wake everybody up from their slumber.
Housekeeping.
Fluff
your pillow. Man, that's a good movie quote, you know.
Oh, that is a good movie quote. But before Colton,
weird.
Before we talk about movie quotes,
whoa,
our top 5 movie quotes, I want to do a question of the podcast. And this question stems from me being out here in Pennsylvania this week and all of the good food that I have had this week, because I'm in downtown Williamsport and there's restaurants everywhere within walking distance. My question is, what is your favorite type of cuisine? What's your favorite type of food? Japanese, Chinese, Italian?
So is this something I'm making at my house, or is this something that, like, if I'm going out to eat?
I'd say if you're going out to eat.
Okay. I'm going to go with if I could, I would do sushi more often. So I would say Japanese.
Okay. I know you have a love for sushi. You and Sarah, man, you guys could just go on a date together and get sushi.
Done.
Yep.
Sold.
She's always like, let's get sushi. I'm like, we have to drive way too far to get sushi. Nobody has it near us. We can go to Warsaw, I guess. No, it's good, but
that's true.
So
that's true. What about you, man?
This evening, I had one of my favorite Italian places here in Williamsport. And the last 3 times I've been here, I've had it. I've went because the food there is really good. Now, let me tell you about this place. It's called Franco's, and it is a really small Italian restaurant, and you have to have a reservation to get in. You can't just walk in. And when you get there, the door's locked. You have to ring a doorbell. And then the hostess comes and opens the door, and the first word she says, "Do you have a reservation?" And you say yes. She says name, and then closes the door on you.
That's awesome. So it's like backdoor dealing.
Oh yeah,
vibes.
It's one of those places that's like, it's just cool. It's just a cool experience to do that. But then you walk in and the walls are lined with all of the famous people that have been there. And lined, I'm saying like 8 pictures high and maybe 150, 200 pictures long.
Dang.
Like it is loaded with all these famous people that have been there, between athletes, musicians, politicians, like just tons and tons of people.
Quick sidebar. Do you really believe all those people have been there?
I do. Most of those pictures are signed.
Okay, then I digress.
Yeah. So no, it on top of like just having something to look at the whole time you're there, good drinks, amazing food. All I'm almost guaranteeing, I didn't ask, but I'm almost guaranteeing everything is made right there in-house. The noodles, the sauce, everything. Great appetizers. But the best part is that Franco, every time I have been there, has walked around the entire restaurant, stopped and talked to each table, and asked, "How's your food? How's your meal? How's it going?" Has a conversation with the people at the table. It's a beautiful thing. Makes you feel like
How,
you're in like a small town place, but
how old is Franco?
I would assume he's like a junior or something because he doesn't look like he's that old. But I could be
Okay.
wrong.
Okay.
I could be wrong. So yeah, I'm gonna say Italian, and I think of it more because like
Oh.
there's a lot of really good Italian restaurants, a lot of like smaller good Italian restaurants if you just search and find them. And there's something about pasta that just makes you feel good and full. And I mean, you can categorize pizza as Italian because like the first pizza was like made in Italy and Naples or something. So
That
I love
explains my
pizza.
love for pizza. I'm
Yeah.
partially Italian.
So yeah,
No, I'm not.
it's mostly Irish, but we won't go there.
We love our potatoes.
I do love potatoes. But yeah, so yeah, question of the pod. Favorite cuisine? If you have an answer, send it over. Callguyspodcast@gmail.com. Are you a Chinese person? Are you a Japanese person? Are you an Italian person? What do you love to eat? What is your food of choice? And I know Chris is gonna send an email saying that Franco's is good because he's been there
Oh, okay.
and it is good.
Sweet. I do think you do have a good point about it feels like if there's like a hole in a wall restaurant, it's Italian. And it's 9 times out of 10 it's gonna be really good.
Yeah. When Sarah and I were down in Key West for our honeymoon, one of our last nights there, we were walking down, and this was when Sarah's back was hurting really bad, and we she just couldn't walk anymore, and we were gonna go to the far side of the island to find something to eat, and we stopped where we were, and we looked over, and we said, "Okay, we'll eat there," and it was a little Italian place, and of course, it was the most expensive place on the island, but
Yeah, go
it was
figure.
good.
That's good.
So yeah, very good, very good.
Good question. Good question.
Would love to hear your answers out there in podcast land. Colton,
What up?
I do feel like this is going to be a pretty short episode today because we have a subject that is something that's very important to us. We kind of mentioned a little bit ago. It is our top 5 movie quotes. And I'm just going to say right now, all mine are from Bill. No, I'm just kidding.
I was just gonna say, are you just gonna Bill and Ted go?
I'll just quote the
Done.
whole movie right now. I can do it. Let me close the script out because I have memorized. No, I'm not going to do that to you.
Well, I mean, I got like two. Like I've got a couple from some movies. Like that's what I got. Because I couldn't
Okay.
pick. I couldn't pick. Mostly,
Okay.
also I probably use them the most.
Yeah, that was what I tried to look for ones that I use the most, and I'm like looking through, and I'm doing some research earlier today, and it's just like, you know, I say a lot of movie quotes, but I say them in the moment, so I can't
Correct.
think of what those movie quotes are and what movie they're from, unless it's like something happens to where I say them. So
I got a lot of my inspiration from my wife a little bit ago before we started, and I told her, I need to pick some movie quotes. And she's like, "Oh, well, why don't you just use this? Because this is what you say all the time to me." And she just rattles off like 12 movie quotes. And I was like, "Oh, okay, perfect."
and there's my
Done.
answers. Now I know. So I did pick some from movies that I love. I picked some from movies that I love those lines. Yeah, of course. It's actually not the line I chose from that movie though. I chose one that I say all the time.
Oh, okay.
And yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah, how do you want to do it? Do you just want to run through a list? Do you want to go 5, 4, 3, 2 honorable? Do we have honorable mentions, or you just
I mean,
5, 4, 3, 2, 1?
I got more than 5.
Okay.
We can do some honorable mentions.
Okay.
I'll be honest,
Let's do it.
mine aren't numbered, but we'll
Mine
figure
are
it
not
out as we
numbered
go.
either.
Sweet.
Mine are not numbered either. I'm gonna pick
All
them
right,
as we go here.
who wants to go first, you or me?
I'll go first. This line comes from a movie that came out in 2002,
Okay.
starring Tobey Maguire. But this line is all said by somebody who passes away just a few minutes after he delivers the line. And the line is, with great power comes great responsibility.
It is a fantastic movie line.
It is.
It is a staple to the origin story of Spider-Man.
Of course. And I know it comes from the comics first, but when I first heard that line, it was in that moment, and it sticks. And the reason it sticks is because they still use it today.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, it's really used everywhere.
I mean, I remember watching the Andrew Garfield movies and the what's his freaking name? Tom Holland.
Yeah.
I felt like you weren't really Spider-Man until that quote was said.
Yeah.
Because of how it was portrayed in the Tobey Maguire movie. Because that was really the turning point and what he really planted his flag on of his morality of what he was going to do. And
avenges uncle's death, really, was the main thing.
Yeah. And
but like, once the end of that movie came along is when he realized that it meant so much more than
it was more than just like a throwaway line to him that, just Uncle Ben giving another Uncle Benism.
Uncle Ben. Oh, wrong movie. But no, I've always loved the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies, and they're all 3 of them I can watch. Obviously, the third one's not my favorite. I love Doc Ock in number 2. I love Willem Dafoe as Green Goblin, and the moment that Aunt May Tomei said it in No Way Home.
No Way Home, yeah.
I was like, okay, that's good. And my dad made a good point earlier, is that don't ever have somebody say that line in a movie because they're just gonna die.
It's a good point. Good point. My number 5 comes up from a 1990s movie, one of my favorite all-time movies. Talked about it last week at a court with Quarter Books and Booze. It's the very first line of the movie, and it goes, "All my life I've dreamed of being a gangster." Classic Goodfellas. That line has stuck with me as, to me, one of the greatest opening lines in a movie, because at the time you don't see anything that's going on, but he's in the trunk and they're digging a hole, and it just zooms in on him. "All my life I've dreamed of being a gangster." And you're like, yeah, that looks like a pretty gangster thing you're doing, and then you find out they're burying a dead body.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that sounds about right.
We got some real gangsters.
Mostly because it's just one of my favorite movies.
Yeah.
So there's no really other reason other than that. So that's my number 5, man. What's your number 4?
It's kind of hard to pick like a line from your favorite movie.
It really is. But I mean, here we are. Figuring it out as we go.
This one, 1987. My name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father.
You killed my father.
Prepare to die.
Prepare to die.
Partly because my name is what? My name is who?
Chicka.
I would say that
Slim Shady.
I really say and think that I wish I would have watched this movie a long time ago. And I didn't watch it until I started dating Sarah. And this line just stuck, and it's one of those lines you just want to say. You just want to say it. And ever since I saw it for the first time, I've said it too many times to count. And she loves Princess Bride, and I've learned to love the Princess Bride. So it's just one of those things. It's fun to say. It's just comes up randomly all the time. I'll say it for no reason, and I just love it. So Princess Bride's good. Princess
Nice.
Bride's real good, and that's a fun line to say. So, what about you?
My number 4 goes to a 95 movie. Just about one day. Just about a day. That day is Friday. We're in the convenience store.
Mm-hmm.
Guy falls down. One of my favorite lines to ever use.
Oh.
On my neck. On my back. On my neck and my back. We can settle out of court right now for $150,000. I'll settle out of court right now for $240,000. Get off the floor. Oh yeah. Friday has so many more quotable lines. Black and berry sweet juice.
Mm-hmm.
How'd you get fired on your day off work? I mean, the list could just go on and on. They caught you stealing boxes?
Boxes.
Word of the day. Job. J-O-B.
I love that you love that movie.
What? What's wrong with it?
I just love that you love that movie because you're always quoting it. It's like every time I see you there's something.
I love that movie. That movie is hysterical. Absolutely hysterical. Smokey, don't be smoking my stuff. 20 for one another underlining great episode, a great scene is when Smokey is counting out that $100.
Yeah, and he flips it.
It needs to be 200, and he just flips the 100 and then counts it back down. He's like, man, that's $100. Oh my gosh.
That is
just
genius.
a great movie. I love it. It's just great. That's why it's my number 4. What's your number 3, man?
Oh man. I've got a couple here that I can juggle, and okay. I don't know why most of my quotes are from superhero movies, but that's just where I went with this.
I almost added a couple of those.
I'm gonna say 2008. RDJ is Iron Man. The final line of the movie. I am Iron Man.
Iron Man.
And the fact that it repeated in Endgame and was the last line he said, really pulled the heartstrings, and it made you remember that is why you love these movies, is because of Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Hemsworth and Chris Evans and Chris Pratt and any other Chris. Scarlett Johansson, just like it makes you think back on all the movies that you've watched in the last 10 years and what they meant to you, and them bringing that line back for the last moment, for the last line for RDJ to say. Awesome. And ever since the 2008, the first Iron Man, it's been it's been a line that you say because it's quotable, and I mean, it's just enjoyable, I guess. So
no, I was close to putting Nick Fury's line. It started as a oh gosh,
there was an idea.
Yeah, there was an idea.
Yep.
I was gonna do that one, but I was like, yeah, keep it away from it. But yeah, that's when I thought, I was like, oh, there was an idea, and I couldn't find a good saying for it that I thought it fit in. But anywho, my number 3 is a 3-parter. It's from 2/3 of the Cornetto trilogy. We have Sean You know, if I'm ever just like yelling at somebody and you ever just hear me yell Sean, it's because it's just what I do. You might not be Sean, but if you look, that's great. Another favorite one of mine is from Hot Fuzz, and that is a classic. Jog on.
Joking.
Um, I got my dad to do that a lot.
That's what you said. That's what you said a while back.
I got him to watch that. I got him to watch Hot Fuzz one night. He's like, "What the heck are we watching?" I was like, "This is gold, isn't it?" He's like, "The hell's going on?"
Yeah.
Because he didn't join he joined in like the middle of it. He's like, "Dude, this is crazy."
The
So
worst time to join.
he actually like I rewatched it later that week, and he's like, "Hey, can we start that back?" And it was like 5 minutes in. He's like, "Can we start this from the beginning?" I said, "Yeah, we'll do that."
We can do that. We can do that, Dad.
And then probably one of my favorite Cornetto quotes is "Shame is yeah." It's a simple Nick Frost line from when he is trying to get Simon Pegg's character to do say corny things when he is fighting in like police movies. And he's like, I hit Lurch and I put him in the cooler. Did you tell him to freeze off? Nope. Shame. And it's just the way it's just their way they do it and they roll it off. It's just great. Everybody knows I have a huge crush on the Cornetto trilogy, so
Oh, yeah.
I
We all
just didn't feel right to not put them in.
completely understandable.
So the real question is, Gunner, you're number 2. Does it make you cry?
The line itself, no. But the man who said it, yes.
Oh.
And that was because it was said by Heath Ledger in The Dark Knight. And he says it multiple times. And that is, why so serious? And just the delivery he gives every time he says that line. And we all know it was because he was in the character and he was playing the Joker. And
Yep.
staple villain of pretty much probably one of my favorite villains of all time, I guess I would say. And a staple to all villains and just somebody that you enjoy watching because of how creepy and crazy and awesome and psychotic he was. But just that when he's holding Rachel and he's got the knife in her mouth and he's just like shaking his head and he says that line and you're just like, that's intense.
You feel it.
Anytime he says it, just good. So no, doesn't make me cry, but Heath Ledger, great actor, gone too soon.
Yep.
Does your number 2 make you cry?
The quote, no, but the character arc, yes.
Okay.
This is from a non-fat Russell Crowe movie. That is absolutely right.
I didn't want to say
You're not entertained? Is this not why you're here?
Exactly.
Just a great line. Great line. Love that movie. His character is just I feel bad for him. It's tough. His man, you feel for the guy through the whole movie.
Exactly.
And he finally, goes home at the end, and there's some peace at that. Just
It's a sidebar on that.
Oh yeah, what do you got?
Have you seen this trailer for this new movie where they're having a party at LeBron James' house?
No.
No, I keep seeing it. It's not, I don't even know what it's called. But I keep seeing this trailer for this movie. It's a comedy, and these guys are cleaning LeBron's house while he's in Miami, or he's like in some other state or something, and they decide to have a party. Well, one of the guys drops that line.
Are you not entertained?
Yeah. Every time I hear it, I go, Colton really likes that line. So
I do. Honorable mentions. You got any?
I'll give you one that up here. Empire Strikes Back. Yoda. Do or do not. There is no try.
No try. Yep.
Great
I
line.
mean, of all the Star Wars quotes, that's a pretty interesting one.
I mean,
you could have went with, you got the classic, "May the Force be with you."
of
You've
course.
got Luke, "I am your father."
Which is actually not how it's said.
Oh, join me. Stand with me. I can't remember.
What was the actual Vader line? I had this discussion earlier. It was Obi-Wan says he killed your father, or Obi-Wan didn't kill your father, and Luke says something. He says, "No, I am your father." Because he doesn't actually say Luke.
Let's look it up here. Guess. Luke, you can destroy the Emperor. He has foreseen this. It is your destiny. Join me, and together we can rule the galaxy as father and son.
Yeah.
Have you ever watched? I'm assuming you have. You ever watched The Family Guy and Star Wars trilogy? I absolutely. Those are hysterical. Those are really fun to watch.
Yeah. The other one, that 70s show episode where the one kid's dad owns like the factory that Red works at, and he comes to town and he's hitting on Donna.
Yeah.
And then it's all like Star Wars based. Like he's Vader and very good.
Nice. All right, man. I'm about ready to give up. Yep.
Okay, give up. We'll let the listeners email us on that one. What was Vader's actual line?
Callguyspodcast@gmail.com.
That's right.
Hit us up. Yeah,
that's my one honorable mention.
That's a good honorable mention. I have got 3, technically 4. You work on commission, right? Big
Every time you say that
mistake. Big, huge. Oh, come on.
Every time you say that, I lose it.
Pretty Woman.
Okay.
She walks into the clothes store, the hoity place, and Were you here yesterday? No, that was me. Do you work on commission? Big mistake. Big.
Exactly.
Huge. Love that line. Great. Julia Roberts killed that line in that movie. And then I have another classic. $50 million. Who you think you got? Chelsea Clinton?
That's the Rush Hour.
Yep. I could. Yeah. I'd throw in any Rush Hour.
Yeah.
Lee Carter. Yeah. It's just those two together are great.
Oh,
fantastic.
Dang! I just saw another one. Can I pop it in real quick?
Oh, sure.
Beverly Hills Cop.
Oh.
I ain't falling for no banana tailpipe. That's Beverly Hills Cop 2.
Oh my.
Same thing.
And then I've got some hot rod quotes in here.
Mm.
One of my favorite things to do around when it's just me and my wife is I do the dance and say, "You like what you see?" And then it usually gets a stare of nothing. So that's what I get.
Intimacy.
Yeah. That's how William was here. No.
The hot rod dance.
And then I say cool beans a lot.
Cool beans.
Cool beans. I mean, only that group could make up little like
things that you say all the time, like cool beans. Because I say it all the time too.
Yeah, cool beans. So that's all I got on my list.
Nice.
So Gunnar, what's your number 1?
So you know what movie my number 1's from? It's from Bill and Ted. And it's hard for me to pick a quote from Bill and Ted, and I had to think of one that I literally say every time I pass this place. And being in Indiana, there's a lot of Circle K's. a lot. So every time I pass Circle K, I say, strange things are afoot at the Circle K. Because that's where they're going to do their history report, and that's where the telephone booth comes in. So, very crucial moment for the movie. Very great line. And when you have Circle Ks, you got to say it. Now, you killed Ted, you medieval dickweed.
Yep, you said
Great
that
line.
one a lot. You
Yeah.
said that one.
Yeah.
I thought that's where you were going.
All we are is dust in the wind, dude. Dust, wind, dude. Great movie, great lines. I can quote the whole thing. If you ever want to sit down and watch it, come on over to my house. I'll put it on the projector. We'll watch Bill and Ted. I'll walk you through, and I'll actually teach you how to quote the movie.
We'll teach you how to quote the movie. That's great. That's fantastic.
I'll give you a script, and we'll sit there and we'll go over it and study it together.
Very nice.
But yeah, my number one.
Love it.
Yours?
Love it. My number one is a favorite Christmas movie of mine. Probably one of my most quotable things. It's the reason why I have this hat, which is
yeah.
Christmas Vacation.
Shitter's full.
That's not it. This is a great line, underrated line. Russ,
Mhm.
Russ, yeah, Dad. I gotta feed the goats. Go for a walk.
Oh yeah, that's when he's getting ready. He's trying to plug the lights in.
He's trying to plug the lights in, and he's coming up with an excuse, but that's not
You
it
don't have
either.
to go count the lights again.
Yeah, that's not it either.
Check them all.
The infamous prayer scene in that movie.
Yes.
And Aunt Bethany says, Grace, she died 20 years ago or something like that. And her husband looks at her and says, they want you to pray. And she looks at him and he goes, the blessing.
The blessing.
It kills me every time when he does that.
Yeah.
So it's definitely a famously quoted line in my house is that the blessing. Just randomly.
Totally enjoyed rewatching that on Christmas Eve.
Nice.
And it was very good. And I think it's going on my Christmas watch list. So
nice. It's a great Christmas Eve movie. I don't know why. I just feel like it's a Christmas Eve movie.
It is. It is. Unlike Nightmare Before Christmas, which I will never watch ever again, probably. So, sorry.
Well, let's
move on from that.
Interesting. You know, I will say this. I don't know whose listeners hate them more, us, the Call Guys listeners, or the Tusop Tejas listeners. Because right now we are like neck and neck between, you know, content that we say we're going to talk about and the actual conversations that we have that surround nothing. Because right now we're at a good little spot where we do, you know, 30 minutes of BS and then 30 minutes on topic. Team Tejas is like at an hour of nonsense with like 20 minutes of content.
I think our listeners expect that from us because that's what we do every episode, and we have the same schedule of events usually. I mean, sometimes no, but sometimes
I mean, we're not taking 2 to 6 weeks to come up with an idea for an episode to do research, and you know, we have to. I mean, we pump them out, man. We go to work. That's what we do. Put our hard hats on and get to work, and you know, we're not taking turns. We just go. That's what we do. We just go. Onward and forward. So.
Yep. That's right. Onward and forward.
I do though, Logan. I did appreciate your guys' hostess and little Debbie, your snack talked in last week's episode. I found that well done. And I agree. You guys should do a snack podcast.
Just one episode of Tucson where you talk about spooky snacks.
Oh my.
I did, Logan, I will tell you, I'm going to go look for pitch black here in Pennsylvania before I leave. and hope that I find
Uh-oh.
some.
Maybe
Because I
he's
doubt
got
it's in
some
Indiana.
found. I doubt it.
But yeah, good list, Colton. Good
Yeah,
job.
man. Yeah.
Quick, easy,
Oh,
laid back, quiet, kind of just a cool episode of the Call Guys podcast. And you know what I gotta say? I appreciate all of you out there that listen.
all
and come
15 of you.
enjoy.
Thank you.
Big 1-5, Patrick Mahomes. You know. No, seriously, thank you all for coming weekly, listening, enjoying, liking. I hope you've been enjoying the social media posts I've been putting out. I enjoy going back and watch them. I think it's fun. But if you're a Call Guys listener that wants to be a part of the podcast, let us know. Send us an email. Give us some ideas. Give us some recommendations. All that good stuff. If you want to be on episode 52, we're less than 10 episodes away. Send us an email. Let us know. We'll get you on there for 10, 15 minutes just to chit chat about whatever. And then if you want to, you can go like, subscribe on YouTube, click the bell, all that good stuff. So please send us emails. We love reading them off on every episode. But yeah, Colton, you got anything you want to add on movie quotes?
No, man. I know we missed them. Really would like to hear back. Just
Oh yeah.
hear back. Let's get some people that their favorite movie quotes. So just hit them up. Send them to us at thecallguyspodcast@gmail.com, and you know, we'll go from there. Love to have the conversation. So I'm sure
Yeah.
we missed some
And
great quotes out there.
I mean, we didn't even nick a part of movie quotes. We just chose our favorites. So
Yep.
there are millions of quotes I love. It's just so like I know everybody out there does this. You want to think of something, but it just won't come to you. It's like, what was that? What was that quote? I know it's that movie. What's that movie called though? And we do it on the Call Guys all the time. So, but yeah,
We've got a whole car dedicated to their anger and rage.
we do. It's called the DeLorean. The DeLorean. 1.21 gigawatts.
Gigawatts.
What the hell's a gigawatt? Yep.
I'm kind of
there's
surprised you
another
didn't. I'm surprised you didn't throw in a Back to the Future reference.
I feel like if I ever mention Back to the Future again on the Call Guys, I'm gonna get yelled at by our listeners. Sorry, I love time travel. I love Back to the Future.
No.
I'm gonna cry. All right, Colton. Anything else?
Love you, brother.
Love you too, man. And to all of our listeners out there, thank you for listening to the Call Guys podcast. You can find us wherever you get your podcast, whether that be Spotify, Apple Podcast, Amazon Music, wherever you get your podcast. You can also find us on YouTube, like I said before. Like, subscribe, click that bell, get notifications. We do post a video every single Monday when we post on any of your favorite social media accounts and podcast sites.
Yes, sir.
That's right. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/thecallguyspod, Instagram at thecallguys, TikTok at thecallguyspodcast. And yes, we do post our link tree in our podcast notes, so you can click that link, go to our link tree, and have access to everything: YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. It's all there. Go check it out. And as I said before, send us any emails you want, recommendations, future episodes, questions of the pod. If you want to be on episode 52, we'd love to hear from you. Do it. Let us know. Check out the merch store, the callguyspodcaststore.com. And be sure to check out all of the other podcasts under the Golden Mojo Entertainment Network of podcasts, whether that be the Golden Image Podcast, the Murdnerds, United States Paranormal Podcast, A Court of Books and Booze, or the Indiana Chiefs Fans Podcast. We're adding and we're going, and there's a lot of podcasts being put out of the Golden Mojo Entertainment Network. So go check them all out. All their link trees, socials, websites, whatever they have is in our podcast notes.
Nice.
Yeah. But that's all I got tonight, Colton. Relatively short episode.
Well done. Well done.
A fun one.
Yeah, man. Oh, yeah. For sure. I think it's gonna be. Hopefully, I think it's gonna be a good conversation podcast.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think we'll be able to get some folks with it.
I'm really hoping your week's a little bit better.
I
Hoping
mean,
everything,
knock on wood. I don't know how much worse it can get, but I feel like
hope
it
everything's
could.
on the mends there with all that stuff. So, and
Mm.
I think we do need to have an episode of what's been going on in Colton's life.
Dude, I'm telling you, like this week, like that could have been the whole thing.
Oh, I know. We had a good
So
45-minute conversation, so I know it all.
yeah.
All right, everybody out there in podcast land, say a prayer for Colton. See you next time.
Later.